moo tax ñu seetaan gars yi bokk rek ñu insisté Ndola mo ni muy sale gudi bi.
Harusnya. Hey, kii mooy suma boss.
kii football yi catégorie rek la xam because moom xam naa football si seen
Kii nickname bi la xam kii ñëw Podolski la nekk dégg nga.
waaw pour wax na aka Podolski Lamin Thiam aka Podolski
dafa am si football yi. am na seetaan da nga ma tubaab amul seen nickname. man mi sànq am na nickname am léegi boo xanaa am na nickname am waa di ko rek mu sama yee nickname bi loolu. man moom yaakaar naa la woon comme ni
waa léegi jox ko moom as far as connect do am internal sound.
Wajila de. Gis nga bu nekk boor bi nii moo nekk la fee bii di football kii bi moo tax di seen thing. Yow du dee yow fii yow soo ma nee yëfi ma njaay paak waaw mun naa dund kon bu ma fi wax dara buñ doo di defal seen paak soo nee yaa si sama léegi yuubu wala la fi bi dañ na caaxaan de yee lu ndaw la nag yee dafa am tension nag léegi tey mu kaat mu xam ne kii da kaw la de pour gars yi Dakar def ko yëfi da kaw mu génnee noonu neex na de paak mais am waa yenn sango kanku la no moom fa After jubilation. Well, you know that time when def yow. Hey, doo fi comment damaa xëy sama maay mooy dugal ñu xaar ba ëllëg yow nga ne tuuti yow la bii yaa ko dugal. déedéet xam nga ne sax Camera ready. Camera ready. Ni nekk ñu am good friend. Dañ move. At least so you have to just continue. So you feel home. The guy on the inside, you are on a target for it.
And so big 45 to come. The second chapter of what looks like a march heading towards Steve Biko's way. They are called the Giant Killers for one reason, and that is what they are simply doing as it stands. 2-0 up against the leaders, Real de Banjul. Can they have what it takes to be a leader of the GFF first? Well, Alif, Big 45 coming up for Steve Biko, and it's currently 2-0 on their favor.
Yeah, very interesting game here at the Independence Stadium in Biko, as the league leaders are struggling to find an equalizer for the mid-table standing that Steve Biko live at the Independence Stadium here. Interesting game so far with interesting scoreline for the fans of Steve Biko.
Well, indeed, it's a very interesting scoreline. Big 45 minutes coming up for Steve Biko, but currently they are heading towards the right direction. 8th position they seem to be occupying now, with Banjul United having some minus, but it's a very big 45, and Real de Banjul having some early warning signs there. And Ali, what would have been the first half team talk for Real de Banjul, and of course by Male Wada in charge, who seems to be very not happy with his side's performance?
Yeah, considering they are standing at the league right now, leading the first division of the Gambia Football Federation and playing with the 8th position, that's Steve Biko, and still struggling to find the back of net of the 8th position occupants. And when you see the gap also from Real de Banjul to the second place,
the last 5 matches, their last winning came in 2016. This time around it's 2022, and if this is 2022, please bring it on for Steve Biko. They are currently 2-0 up. Their game plan seems to be heading the right way, and Real de Banjul struggled. Steve Biko, they go. Can they? Well, Gregory Samu is down on his feet and makes some very crucial save for them. And Steve Biko still here. They continue. Football made in Biko, they say. Well, Steve Biko, can they? Oh no. That is just scoop wide. That is wide. It's a goal kick. The Real de Banjul fans can breathe, won't they?
Yeah, of course. Seeing the goal opportunity here missed by the Steve Biko. It's a big opportunity that could just change the scoreline to 3-0 for Steve Biko.
Well, interesting match here at the Independence Stadium. Well, of course, in case you just missed that, it's performance scorer alongside Alucisi on the commentary bin. As Lamino, the under 20 goalkeeper kicks and clears his line as the ball went wide of his post. After that glimpse of a chance from Steve Biko, to perhaps add their advantage, but it's a corner for Real de Banjul.
Yeah, it's a corner as second half still interesting for Real de Banjul to level the scoreline, but I wonder if they will, because in the defensive line of Steve Biko here, it seems to be very strong with the first half advantage of 2-0. Oh, another beautiful stick. Oh my goodness.
Well, was that a goal? The last man disagrees and the referee agrees. It's a corner for Real de Banjul again. The Real de Banjul players disagree. By Male Wada stunned. Well, there is no VAR, there is no technology to give you the replay and all that you need. But Steve Biko would defend their line. That would have been a very, very crucial goal for Real de Banjul. But how about that from a goalkeeper's perspective? Save of the year, isn't it?
Yeah, it could be very interesting save here. I believe that if it's 2-2 or even maybe a possible win. Oh.
And the goalkeeper of Steve Biko currently having the most saves, as people will definitely want to see and love to see that. For Real de Banjul fans, that is not what they will be loving to see. He is currently on top of his game. What a crucial save that is. If only the ball didn't cross the line, but if it crossed, that would have been another save of his life again. But as it stands, it's 2-0 in the for Steve Biko. And Ali, just to give you some of the statistics of Real de Banjul against Steve Biko. In their last 5 matches, Steve Biko failed to score. More goals, but here they are in just 45 minutes. That is the first half of it. They managed to score 2, equaling the goals that Real de Banjul scored in their last 2 matches that they played. And do I need to remind you when Steve Biko last won Real de Banjul? That was in 2016, and then since then, it seems Steve Biko didn't recover from that 2016 win against Real de Banjul. It's all turned out to be a defeat and a draw in favor of Real de Banjul. But here it's a corner for Real de Banjul, and probably the scoreline could change. But if not, Steve Biko will be heading towards the 8th direction, and they are loving it.
Yeah, since last defeat in 2016 by Real de Banjul in favor of Real de Banjul, still now from 2016 to 2022, year change, so things has to also be changed. I think that's the reason why Steve Biko has tried all things since 2016. We have been suffering in the hands of Real de Banjul. We have to change the narrative, and I think that's exactly what is happening here.
some entertaining football we could see, Ali. But this one is a corner for Steve Biko, and they'll Steve Biko currently having the game plan that they love to see, that is hitting them on the hitting Real de Banjul on the counter, and from it they conceded two and made to score Real de Banjul in quick succession. But this one is a Real de Banjul counter, and Real de Banjul, here they come. Oh my, that would have been a lovely goal, but he keeps it high. Hello, some chances coming towards Real de Banjul's way by Males throwing his hands into the air as a sign of frustration, but that would have been another chance of Real de Banjul's moment, isn't it?
Yeah, a great goal opportunity for Real de Banjul by Lamin Bojang, but so unfortunately hit the ball above the crossbar, which is high ball automatically. I think if the ball was scored, it could give hope for Real de Banjul that they could make a bounce back in the game. But another defensive formation for Steve Biko here, seeing the defensive line seems to be so stubborn for Real de Banjul to defeat it. It's a very defensive formation for Steve Biko, meaning they are trying their all best to see that the history of 2016 will never repeat here again.
Well, if history is something that one needs to go by, you just know Real de Banjul have some cutting edges over Steve Biko. But the tactician is here to make some crucial changes. Only a first half substitution for Real de Banjul, and that is yet to have some impact. But it's a very big scoreline for Real de Banjul to come up. You never say everybody is beginning to love the scoreline for Steve Biko, as you know they are the giant killers, and when you know Steve Biko, you just know they love the side, don't they?
Yeah, of course, they love the side.
They love to decide the fate of others. That is why they are called the league giant killers. But this is a match that will be very quick to say, torn and dusted, as leaders Real de Banjul continue to look for that consolation as it stands, or somehow that's what will give them the hope to come up from 2 goals down to perhaps winning. But Gregory Sambu is down and currently in pain as he screams. Could that be some tactical way? But Bama Lewanda is having some tactical approaches that he is about to unleash onto the Steve Biko manager, that is bringing on 2 players, that is Manka and another fella, and this time around Real de Banjul will be hoping it goes their way with their substitutions. If not, then it could be something else. But Steve Biko are observing all the pressure and defending as if it's the last game of the season, in which if they lose, they are heading to the relegation zone. But you and I will agree that Real de Banjul have the most attacking prowess one of the most attacking prowess in the league, and one of the most dangerous when it comes to set pieces and all others. But today is not heading towards their day. What do you think is going wrong for Real de Banjul?
Another interesting substitute here for Real de Banjul, bringing Mustafa Jallo, who is Bakau base, who is a resident in Bakau, to come to play against its own native Bakau side again, as Steve Biko is a Bakau based club. Interesting here. Steve Biko are trying all the best to see that they see that defense there, and that will be something very impossible to the fans of Steve Biko.
Well, as it stands, Belkama folks will be hoping it ends this way. A 1 point difference on sleepless nights, but they probably would have said it's Biko that they are playing against, a team that they managed to win in the last 5 matches, and of course this time around the giant killers are on it. But here's a Real de Banjul chance, and the Great Berlin Wall is having a replica at the Steve Biko yellow submarines, isn't it? It seems they're having a Greek wall at the central part, at the defensive part of the pitch.
Yeah, the second half of the game seems to be very unfavorable to Steve Biko, considering the number of attacking by Real de Banjul, putting more pressure on Real de Banjul. Is another good chance.
Well, of course, that would have been another, Real de Banjul would have equalized and automatically overturned the tie if all the set pieces, headed goals or headed balls turned into the back of the net. But Steve Biko are currently having one of the most defensive best defenders of the season right now, having to stop Real the Banjul. It seems they put a very great Berlin wall on the defensive side. But Real the Banjul throw in all they have. Bayamal Ewada doing all substitutions that they have, and now just 1 point different against Birmingham. How significant will this one be?
Yeah, this will bring the league back to life, and it will be seen that if the things end like this, it means that the league is just starting, because imagine 1 point and how many games to go. That will be something very interesting, meaning that both Real de Banjul and Birmingham United will be still fighting for the trophy, and even those behind. And still recently, as the league standing, Birmingham United in second position, whereas Real de Banjul with still leading the league, and Steve Biko will be at the 8th position with only 6 or 7 points behind from the league leaders. That will make things so interesting, and considering also the number of games that we are left with in the competition.
And currently the play is put on hold as Habibi Sidibe is down injured for Steve Biko. That is the goalie. Perhaps a tactical approach for Steve Biko's goalkeeper. But let us just say, perhaps a tactical way of wasting time, isn't it?
Yeah, of course, it seems as.
well, of course, it's going to be an interesting time ahead for Real de Banjul, who seem to be losing patience as the clock ticks. But Steve Biko are absorbing all the pressure, and they are loving it. They are loving every bit of this match. This is why it's called the GFF First Division League, isn't it?
Of course. For the now pick up yellow card there after a challenge with Lamin Maron.
And Steve Biko have a chance. The fans are loving it. They are saying goal. Will it turn out to be a goal? Well, everything is possible in football, and this time around at the expense of Lamin Chata's free kick. Cleared out, but not yet safe, and it's finally safe. And Lamin Seydi breathes finally, and he seems not to be troubled from that free kick after the fans shouting goal. But it's Steve Biko's way as it stands, everything goal. And only Lamin failed to make that one go in. Real de Banjul doing all they can. Real de Banjul seemingly doing all they can. They are soaking every bit of it. They are making the goal post secured. But a clean sheet for Steve Biko will be their second ever clean sheet against Real de Banjul.
Yeah, and that will really change the narrative between Real de Banjul and Steve Biko, considering that Real de Banjul are still enjoying top place, but recently they are also suffering from a 2-goal down against Steve Biko here. So if Steve Biko could able to maintain the game pressure despite their lead, it will be something very interesting for them, and it will be something very historic moment for Steve Biko here.
Deadlock is broken. The deadlock is broken. Mustafa Jallo, born in Bakau, come back to hunt Steve Biko in Bakau. The Independence Stadium rumbles and grumbles this time. Lamin City, Steve Biko goalie had no chance. He's down, hoping to be not injured by the coaches. But Steve Biko, this lad is slim chance of blinking. They concede. The Berlin wall is finally broken. The wall is penetrated. The goalkeeper had no chance. What a superb goal. Mustafa Jallo there with a superb header. And it's Steve Biko 2, Real de Banjul 1. The scoreline means so much for this Real de Banjul side.
Yeah, putting another pressure for Steve Biko despite their first half and second half start of the second half defensive, and considering early goal in the second period of the game, when you see the minute that is left behind is more than what they have played so far. So this could be a possible way for Real de Banjul to make a comeback or to level the scoreline, or even possible to clinch up all the 3 points that they needed for the game. But will that be possible in this game, seeing the defensive line of Steve Biko?
Back to hunt the back outside of Steve Biko. The Yellow Submarines couldn't deal with his header. That was a sublime goal to give Real de Banjul some hope. A glimpse of hope for Real de Banjul. Well, probably for the neutral folks, a match that will turn on its head suddenly. Real de Banjul, the leaders, have some attacking pros. Real de Banjul have some threats. But will it sorely affect Steve Biko? Now the goal will suddenly turn on its head. It's a 2-1 scoreline. Anybody's match as of now. But we are seeing Steve Biko responding towards this goal with a substitution as Yankuba Minte is coming up for Steve Biko. But this time around, will it be an attacking prowess or a defensive way of doing, attacking? That is all attack, and instead of sitting and soaking all the pressures.
Yeah, with the coming of Yankuba, one could say it will be another attacking formation, having Lamin Marong and Adama Jambe in the pitch, and also bringing Lamin Bojang. Bringing Yankuba, which that could be automatically be attacking formation for Steve Biko. And considering at the game recently, Real Banjul are doing everything possible. They are all going out to look for a goal. So the coming of
a big 20 minutes to go. Real Banjul 3 leaders and one for leading, but this time around they are trailing. It's a 2-1 scoreline. Yankuba Minte of Steve Biko will suddenly be introduced as a response for Steve Biko's gaffer. Big time, big 20 minutes for it. Miscued it and miscalculated every pass that he made from that free kick, which suddenly would have been an attacking position for Real, but it turned out to be in frustration for his gaffer by Malewada. The interesting substitution here that comes as one of the most loved, one of the smallest or youngest player of all, loved by everybody. Yankuba Minte is coming on, and this time around Usman Sisi is making way for Yankuba. a lot for light substitution, isn't it?
Yeah, it seems that we are the last substitute, bringing off a defensive player for attacking player. That's mean that Steve Biko are still doing everything possible that to clinch up the maximum 3 points they needed for the game. There's a goal chance. It seems as
That is missed, and it's a goal kick for Real de Banjul. Well, the goalkeeper seems to be in a hurry and missing most of his calculation and all. But Real de Banjul are loving it. They are loving the moment. They love seeing these moments. And they attack on the right, where their favorite attacking balls come. The right side of it, they love it. Well, Steve Biko are in the mood. That is Yankuba's first touch. Love that 2v1 situation. He seems to be on top of his match, isn't he?
yeah, he's performing very crucially at the defensive line, at both defensive and attacking formation here, considering that his movement in the pitch, he is contributing a lot for the defensive and attacking for Real de Banjul here.
Well, Yankuba seems to be struggling with his final passes, but that is just for temporal moments as Real de Banjul launch another counter. But this time around is well dealt with by Sidibe, the Steve Biko goalie, who seem to be struggling. But this time around it's okay, Ali.
Yeah, especially for the first goal of Mustafa Jallo. The ball seems to be so struggling for Mr. Sidibe, for goalie Sidibe to control the ball before it find the back of the net of the Steve Biko. But here is Yankuba again, looking for Lamin Moran, but intercepted.
Real de Banjul overcoming all possible angles, overturning the tie is what is left for them. But they have some crucial moments and minutes to go. Well, will it be a booking? Yes, it is a booking for Steve Biko. And the referee, Ali, is on top of his skin and suddenly issuing some cards to Steve Biko players and as well as Real de Banjul players. But this time around he seemed to ignore the card. He seemed to go with his lenience and not issue the yellow card, Ali.
Yeah. When you see the first half of the game, it seems as the referee gave too much of booking of yellow card for both sides. But I can say,
well, here is a Real de Banjul free kick, 20 yards out, and they send it in. Very poor one, very poor one, and yet again another poor pass. And Steve Biko doing what they love doing most, that is countering Real de Banjul are on it again. But this time around the goalkeeper is with the ball. Lamin Saidi pushes outside his box and launch one for Real de Banjul.
never did it. Wala sila kay Atalgalan.
Well, a lengthy break for us, as we nearly been spectators all of a sudden. But this time, we are seeing some calls being made and fans all over, this is rumbling and saying that is not a foul. But from this end, we couldn't say whether that is a foul or not. But the RS man, that is the assistant referee, being so close towards the play, one could solely determine whether that is a foul or not.
Yeah, the referee also agreed with him and even gave a yellow card to Usman Cham. This is his first booking of yellow card in the after game tonight, and another substitute here, but the assistant referee seems to ignore it.
Well, yes, the whistle was blown, but the third official just said, "Hey, wait until when the ball is gone out of the Biko's box." Perhaps it's from the coach instruction, and that is just that. We will be seeing the goal scorer, leaving the pitch, Mulamin Marom or Steve Biko, and once again the goalkeeper is down on his feet. That is the Steve Biko goalie. It's a struggle, it's just a tactical approach.
It could be both, but it seems as it's a tactical change to keep the time here. If you could see the fans of the players of Real de Banjul are not happy at the moment for the time delay by the goalkeeper here.
Well, he has signaled to the bench that is set me off, he said. but the Real de Banjul fans, players and technical staff are all frustrated. But he seems to be in pain and not a tactical approach. The second goalie is warming up, as we could see, that is Lamin Bay. Will certainly get some minutes, and this time around we'll be having
one. It could be possible to make it as 2-1. In fact, Lamin Bay on standby to take up from Lamin Sidibe. Lamin Bay was having a very good start during the commencement of the competition. He was I can probably say 2 or 3 outings for standing as a start goalkeeper, and he performed very crucially for the team. I don't know today what will be his performance.
Well, one time number 1 and losing it to Lamin Sidibe. Lamin Bay waits to be introduced in the match, but only Lamin Sidibe cannot continue and answer card, and waiting for just Lamin Sidibe to get up and perhaps issue him the yellow card, if not already issued.
Pardon, therefore it's Habib Sidibe instead of Lamin Bay.
Well, of course, yes. Sidibe is down for Steve Biko, and by waits, this stretcher now been called by the referee. Suddenly, his time for tonight's match is over. Sidibe, who is currently enjoying the match, will suddenly make way for Lamin Bay. His one-time first choice goalie, and losing it to Habib Sidibe. Now his time to perhaps convince the coach to reclaim his spot.
For sure, I think he will do everything possible to see that he will get back to his number 1 and to be the starting 11 for the coach here. As Habib Sidibe already on the ground, and he called on the attention of the medical, and they are trying to offload him from the pitch. Let's see how Lamin Bay will perform. Either he will continue.
And 22 sub up in a stretcher for number 1. One time number 1 turn 22 and 22 turn number 1. This time around number 1 returns as the number 1 goalie. Injury for Sidibe, and of course a card as he stretched off. But that is not the only substitution for Steve Biko. They are making their third substitution. Umar Adu will be making his way into the pitch, and this time around the fans applaud the goal scorer, but Lamin Marong, the second goal scorer of the day. Well, that goal of his was just a wonderful finish, having to run past the defender and just nodding the ball one time at the back of Lamin's net is just another crucial thing. But that is just another one. How will you describe that, Ali?
Yeah, it was a brilliant combination there from Lamin Maron to Adama Bojang. It was a very interesting, I call it, between Lamin and Adama to double the scoreline. And I mean that 2 goal of the first half was enough for Steve Biko to say that we are automatically done for the first half and we are hoping for the best in the second half.
Well, they combined the first one and then the second one again. The partnership seemed to be what the coach loved to see. But that partnership, one partner is up off, one is in the pitch playing, and of course being as the lone striker up front for Steve Biko. And suddenly Steve Biko have turned their formation from a 4-2-2 formation to a 5-4-1 formation.
Yeah, I think now what they need to do is to try every bit of their chance to see that at least they go home with their maximum 3 points. That's what they needed for this game in order to change their standing from the table. And here is an attack, but intercepted. Yankuba with the ball. Yankuba, but a foul. What will be?
It's a foul, and of course going with a booking. It's a booking for the Banjul midfielder, that is Salif Ukuli. Well, with the capabilities of Yankuba Minte, one of the brightest midfielder in town, having the ball and having one man ahead of him, that is a very dangerous ball. But what would you say about that play? Was it something cynical or a good stopping from Salif Ukuli?
Yeah, I think it's a brilliant stop there, considering seeing the capability of Yankuba, what he could do facing one defender on the defensive line. It will be something, a very open chance for Yankuba to change the scoreline from 2 to 3 if he will able to penetrate the only one-man defender standing there.
And of course penetrating one-man wall, and of course defending is something else. But Yankuba Minte was brought down, and Lamin, who is in trouble in the second half at all, only to pick up the balls and throw them back in as attacking moments, has nothing to do in the second half. But yes, a real Banjul counter, and real Banjul comes up, and Lamin Lai, who is just introduced in some minutes, sees his coach smile, and his coach, saying to his players, use the head as he gets just touching his head.
When it comes for attacking.
Well, when leaders attack, they have one thing in mind, to score. But when they trail, they only have one thing, that is to attack as well. And this time around, the attacking was Steve Biko nearly heading towards that famous victory over the Banjul, who lead by 2-1. It's 5 more minutes plus additional time to go for Steve Biko. Can they hang on? Can they went on to be the giant killers everybody knows them to be?
They are on a track to make sure that their history or their record is still available for them to be the giant killer of the league.
Well, here it's a free kick for Real Banjul, and Mane takes it, defended, couldn't pass the first man ball, and many will say that is a sucking way of kicking the ball. But here's a Steve Biko counter attack. They love to counter, they love it, and he is down injured after bringing the ball. He's holding his hamstring. Will it be that hamstring? Everybody will hope not. But he is down, and here is another overturn for Real Banjul. They cross the ball, and the goalkeeper Lamin Bai is in the mood. He is definitely in the mood. Well, brought on as a substitute at the expense of an injured Habibi Sidibe. Well, he's having fun with the ball. Alu, he currently, being the number one that everybody loves to see.
Yeah, once the number one, it's always number one. Lamin is doing everything possible to see that Steve Biko will go home with their maximum 3 points. But so far, Lamin Bojang on ground called for attention of medical. As we could see, Red Cross are back to their bench again. It seems that seems to be like to cheated time here, I will call it.
Well, Steve Biko are throwing all the half in the pitch just to make sure these 2 minutes plus additional time are secured. And the goalkeeper, like I said, is having fun with some minutes to play. The Lamin Kante will be coming on for Steve Biko. And final substitution as they line up 2 more to come in. 5 are the substitutions, Ali, and a counter for Real de Banjul. But the referee suddenly signaled play on. He waves play on. And Real de Banjul fans are furious that was not blown for a foul. But Steve Biko players love it, don't they?
Of course, they love it. Every decision by the referee is something that will be criticized from one of the side, either being for Real de Banjul or for Steve Biko. But I mean, every decision taken by a referee, I think he uses his expertise knowledge when it comes to football. But it is very unfortunate that no one is ever satisfied with the referee's decision being a foul or a throw. Here is a substitute for Steve Biko again. On the third line we could see.
Well, yes, the substitution and the 5th and final substitution for Steve Biko. And another goal scorer is subbed off. Steve Biko withdrawing all their attacking forwards. This time they have minute plus additional time to defend. As per the clock is showing, and we are just informed that 5 more minutes will be added on the clock, Ali, of the proceedings. And every bit of the proceeding is going towards their way.
Yeah, out of Biko United, who are second place occupants, whereas Biko United are hoping that, or are praying that may Steve Biko at least go home with their maximum 3 points here. But he seems to be so defensive. Oh, referee decision again.
Well, yes, the referee has just pointed for a corner when the ball came off the Real de Banjul player. But who are we to say that is a goal kick or a corner? It's only the referee who can say it is a corner. Well, every Steve Biko player, fan, staff is furious, and now Lamin Seri, the Real de Banjul goalie, is among the targets for this corner. And this time around, it couldn't just get towards Real de Banjul's way. Probably not their night.
Yeah, as things are folding on, it seems as to be another bad night for Real de Banjul, who are trying all their utmost best to see that they extend the league. Steve Biko are also doing everything possible to see that at least they are at the mid-table of the standings. But as things are going on here, it seems as to be a very, very unfaithful night for Real de Banjul, considering the amount of time that is remaining to play. The coach of Steve Biko seems to enjoy the game, whereas by Emil still on the bench watching the game. To him, this is not meant to happen, but for Steve Biko, this is something they are dreaming for.
Well, it's a dream, and when they dream, they just know the dream could come on. The goal scorers, when they came on this morning, they had bedroom. They never thought they would score, but here they score, and given Real de Banjul some sleepless nights. As night football unfolds, every bit of the football is being loved, every bit of it's been cheered. Well, 3 minutes to go for Real de Banjul. Can they salvage a point? Can they go on to win this match? The 3-1 at the expense of a Steve Biko side, who are heading to 8th position when the final whistle is blown.
Interesting moment here in this 5 minutes of the game.
Well, yes, Steve Biko counter. And now Yankuba Minty has but blocked by the Real de Banjul player. And Lamin, of course, is unleashing another counter attack for Real de Banjul. Yankuba defending, and Yankuba seems to be having a bit of energy, isn't he?
Yeah, it's a second half substitute. He's trying all the best. I think right now he's more energetic, considering that others have been playing throughout the last 90 minutes of the game, and he's just coming from the bench. I think he's more energetic than anyone else here, considering the time that he played so far.
Well, he is loving it, and a minute plus 10 seconds to go for Real de Banjul to salvage something. If only they are meant to salvage it. Well, Lamin Bay keeps it, and that is heading towards Steve Biko's way. 1 minute to go. Real de Banjul struggling, but just seconds to go now.
Just seconds to go. A very happy moment for Steve Biko, whereas to Real de Banjul is the opposite. Fans are now leaving the stadium as Steve Biko fans are still celebrating. They could not believe. What a moment for Steve Biko, changing their standing at the league.
Well, the table standing seems to be very interesting, and there you hear it. That is the final whistle. League leaders Real de Banjul lose on the night. Brikama United second place won. Well, Hawks would have been level on points with Real de Banjul, only Brikama United stunning them. But your headline is league leaders Real de Banjul lose 2-1. Steve Biko clinched the maximum 3 points. 2016 was the last time these two sides saw Steve Biko celebrate, and 2022, if this is 2022 for Steve Biko against Real de Banjul, please bring it on. They are loving every bit of it. The fans love it. They love seeing this type of moments where Real de Banjul, who failed to win their last 2 matches, couldn't win tonight either. The 2 superb goals from Steve Biko forwards ended that winning or drawing straight for Real de Banjul as things stands. Steve Biko love it. They just love it. They just love the moment. 2-1 in favor of Steve Biko.